Um, and since we're in an academic forum, I will add Foucault, who said power is not a possession, it's a relationship, right? And we are in dynamic relationship. And class has always been exploiting racial grievance has always been a tool of class elites. There's a parable that Lillian Smith wrote in 1940. She was a white anti-racist. It's called Mr. Rich White and Mr. Poor White Strike a Bargain. And essentially, I'm going to exploit your labor. I have to, I need to, but I'm going to give you something for it. What David Roediger called the wages of whiteness.
That's right. Yeah.
And so you see it so clearly today is look over there, the illegal immigrant, the Black Lives Matter activists, the Antifa terrorists, look over there. They are picking your pockets, if you will. Meanwhile, we are picking your pockets. I believe that we would have universal health care if it wasn't for racism and the manipulation of white people. I think we would have a much more accessible education and infrastructure. Heather McGee's new book, The Sum of Us, she uses this analogy throughout the book where after the civil rights movement, when public places were pushed to integrate, like public pools and parks, they literally filled the pools in with cement rather than integrate, which means nobody got the pools, nobody got the parks. And so I think we're seeing the movement go in the direction more and more of it's in everybody's interest. It's in your interest. You're looking at in the wrong place. You're punching down. And we need to punch up. But I am not one to say the real oppression is class. And if we address class, we will eliminate race. Absolutely not. I think if you center racism in your analysis, you'll hit everything else. But if you don't center racism, you won't address race.
Okay.
My understanding of what he means is that Black people can absolutely uphold a system that oppresses Black people, and they can benefit from upholding that system. And I'm just going to say Clarence Thomas might be an example of someone who absolutely helps enact policies and practices that are racist or have racist outcome. But who does that serve? There's a recent one where something I said was taken out of context. So I said that I strive to be less white. And that went viral, and it sounded like I was telling people, be less white. Okay, I was speaking to this very question, and I was saying one way that I try to reconcile that tension is for me to try to be less white than I was raised to be. So what does that mean? I was socialized as a white person. So I was socialized to be uneducated on race. I was socialized to be basically ignorant on race, but I was also socialized to have a really strong opinion and be very arrogant about how valid it was. I was socialized to be silent and complicit, to protect other people's racism, right? So to be less white means to break with those aspects of whiteness that are oppressive, because I am white, and it's a both end that I'm not going to be out of.